Aloha and welcome to Action Island. We are back for Thursday Night Football between the Cincinnati Bengals and Baltimore Ravens. Of course, I'm joined by my two favorite Islanders, Nick Giffen and Sean Koerner. And if you're not familiar with what we do, the three of us, we're going to give our two best bets for tonight's showdown between the Bengals and Ravens. And what we'll do is we're going to give our two favorite bets and we're going to vote on the picks. By the end of the show, we'll have a nice tropical three-leg same game parlay for you. And before we get into the picks, though, first up, if you want access to all of Action Pro projections, make sure to sign up for our annual subscription that is currently on sale. Access includes exclusive player prop picks from Sean Koerner, other members of our Action Analytics team. You'll also get access to exclusive expert articles, our best spread, money line, and total bets, real ticket, and money percentages. To sign up, visit actionnetwork.com/pro today and use code ISLAND20 at sign up. One more time, that's ISLAND20, Island20 at sign up for $20 off. All right, Nick, I'm feeling tropical. What are your two bets that you want to do for this same game parlay?
Yeah, well, let's get right into it. My first pick, I'm going to go with under, but not the full game under, which you can read about on actionnetwork.com from Sean's game guide, but I'm going first half under 26.5 points. This game is a luck under. This game has a luck total of minus 8.9 points. Both of these teams were involved in games that went over last week. So not only do we have season-long luck under here, but we also have recency bias luck under here, which I like extra, helps a little bit more. And the reason I'm going first half in particular is let's look at these first and second half splits from these teams. On offense, these teams combine for 27.9 points per game in the first half. Now you might be like, well, that's a lot. That's already over the 26.5, but we'll get to the defenses, right? So they combine for basically 28 points in the first half. But in the second half, they combine for 29.5, right? So 2.5 more points per game in the second half offensively than in the first half, right? So let's remember that. They already score more in the second half here. Now let's get to the defenses. In the first half, these defenses allow a combined 19.5 points per game. And in the second half, they allow 29.5 points per game, right? So a 10-point difference with the second half being much higher. A lot of this has come from backdoor covers against the Ravens or just high-scoring second halves with the Ravens, but also the Bengals. They score a ton as well in the second half. So defensively, this will be a much harder chance for these teams to score in the first half, right? These teams combine only 19.5 points allowed in the first half. So I really like the first half under. I like the full game under, as Sean talked about in his game guide. A lot of other reasons to like the under here. I suggest you go look at them. But just because of these splits and the way these teams have played this year, I'm going to take the first half under at 26.5. For my second pick, we're going to go to the second half here. But instead of taking it under here for the second half, I'm going to take Ja'Marr Chase to score a second half touchdown.
Yes.
It's plus 200 right now. It was plus 220 last night when I put this pick in, but it's plus 200. I think you can wait until game time. The odds tend to drift back longer as we get closer to game time. So if you're betting this individually, I think you can wait on this. But for the parlay, I like the second half touchdown, and that's why it deviates from the first half here. Another reason I gave the first half under. Ja'Marr Chase, nearly 60% of his touchdowns in his career have been in the second half. So already he's scoring a lot more in the second half, and that happens because of his leading trailing splits. In his first half touchdowns, he's pretty much in a neutral game script when he scores his touchdowns, as you'd expect. But in the second half, when he scores his touchdowns, it tends to come when Cincinnati is trailing. His average margin when he scored the touchdown, so not counting the points he scored, was Cincinnati trailing by 3 points. So this is, with Cincinnati on the road as an underdog, a spot where they're much more likely to be trailing. So this is a spot that enhances that 60% of the time. So when you're looking at just game-long anytime touchdown, you really have to weigh this second half for Ja'Marr Chase. Also, his first half touchdowns on average have been luckier, so they've been, let's say, a little bit less sustainable. His second half touchdowns are much more stable when you look at things like the air yards or the average depth of target, right? He's scored his touchdowns on a little bit shorter average depth of target in the second half, but also a higher expected yards after catch. And those two combined right there make for, a much higher catch percentage and a much higher run after percentage. So that second half touchdown scoring has been much more stable as well. So I have him, a little bit around plus 200, maybe a little bit shorter as fair value. I like anything longer than 2-1 here. So if you're picking this individually, definitely would wait closer to game time for this to creep back up.
Oh, baby. This is going to be a tough one to choose from because we've got the luck rankings and we've got a second half touchdown score with some luck stats available as well. So, Sean, me and you, we've got a vote here. First half under 26.5 or Ja'Marr Chase for a second half touchdown. Let's vote. Okay, Sean, time for us to show the vote. Under or Ja'Marr Chase, second half touchdown. Oh, I went with Chase. You had the first half under. Oh, no. All right, we have a split. So what this means is, Nick, you have to now choose between your two bets. Which one are you going to choose to put as part of the three-leg same game parlay?
Why'd you guys have to do this to me? Look, last time I chose the only leg that didn't hit, right? And if I chose the other leg, we would have won our parlay. So now you're putting me in this position again. This is tough. I actually gave this same Ja'Marr Chase bet out last year, and it hit. The second half touchdown hit, but I'm gonna go with the luck under. I went against the luck rankings last time, and that's what cost us the parlay. I'm gonna go with the luck rankings this time. Take the first half under.
All right, Dr. Nick, luck rankings. He is going with first half under 26.5 as the first leg of the three-leg same game parlay. All right, I've got two bets. One is going to be a touchdown prop and one is going to be a rushing yard prop. So let's start with the touchdown prop. I'm going right with Mark Andrews. He's around plus 200 to score a touchdown right now. He's scored 4 touchdowns over the last 4 games, 5 red zone targets in that span. The Bengals defense, 23rd in defensive DVOA versus tight ends, 5 touchdowns allowed to the position. And the last time when these two teams met, the Bengals allowed 3 touchdowns to tight ends. 2 were to Isaiah Likely, 1 to Charlie Kolar, and no Isaiah Likely tonight. And Mark Andrews, in my opinion, has reasserted himself in this offense. I think with a total of 52.5, there are going to still be touchdowns in this game. So I look for Andrews to get back in the end zone. This one, though, bit of a staple for what I've been doing for Island now. I've been taking the over on quarterback rushing yard props. So we're going to do that, but not Lamar Jackson. We're going to take Joe Burrow over 8.5 rushing yards. I did CJ Stroud and Baker Mayfield the last 2 times we've done Island. Those both went over. Definitely for Burrow, I would say there seems to be a sense of urgency recently on the rushing front. He's gone over this in 3 of the last 4 games. He's actually averaging a career high 4.3 yards per carry and facing a Ravens defense rather that is going to get pressure, and Burrow's scramble rate definitely increases a lot when he's pressured. And I think this game, while I do expect it to be competitive, I think there'll be some third down scrambles from Joe Burrow late in this game to get us over. So those are my 2 choices, gentlemen. Joe Burrow over 8.5 rushing yards or Mark Andrews for a touchdown around plus 200-ish. Let's vote. All right, gentlemen, do we choose Mark Andrews touchdown or Joe Burrow over 8.5 rush yards? Burrow, 2 Burrows. Okay, so we are taking Joe Burrow, tabbing that with the first half under of 26.5. So Joe Burrow over 8.5 or over 9.5 rushing yards is right now the market for Joe Burrow. So that's 2 legs of the same game parlay. Koerner, your time is up. What do you got for your 2 props for today?
All right, for the first one, I'll go with another quarterback rushing yard prop. This will be Lamar Jackson. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson under 48.5 rushing yards. Last week, Lamar missed a couple practices due to this knee injury he's been dealing with. And, he ended up playing, looked fine, had a great game as a passer, but he did only end up rushing 3 times for 4 yards, and it was actually the first game all season and only the 4th time in his entire career that he didn't have a designed run. So again, while he looked good, it's clear that the knee was bothering him enough that the coaching staff didn't lean in his rushing upside, neither did he in terms of scrambling. So it's a short week. He didn't practice Tuesday. He got in a full practice yesterday. So maybe he's feeling better this week. But either way, there is, at least some concern there why he didn't run the ball as much last week. So on the short week, I think this trend might continue enough for us to have some value on, Lamar rushing under. So I'm going to go with under 48.5 rushing yards here for him. And for my next one, this is an over, and it's Andre Yosevach of the Bengals, over 21.5 receiving yards. His initials are AI, so it makes sense to have him in the AI parlay. But, he's essentially replaced T. Higgins the past couple games with T. Higgins out. T. Higgins is expected to miss tonight as well. However, you wouldn't know it considering he's only combined for one catch for 10 yards and a touchdown over this 2-game stretch. But he's been getting plenty of playing time, a 93% routes run rate the past 2 games, and 7 targets. And I went back and I looked at the 6 incomplete passes that went his way, and they were very unlucky. One of them was, batted pass at the line of scrimmage. 3 of them were just bad Joe Burrow throws, which, isn't sustainable. And 3 of those would have gone for 20 plus yards. One of them would have been a potential great touchdown catch by him. But again, Burrow just misled him on a few of them. So the usage is there, the targets are there, just the catches haven't been. So I think it's a good time to buy low on him. I think he's a really good player, and this is gonna be potentially a trailing game script against a pass funnel Ravens defense. So I love his upside here. I'm projecting his median closer to 28.5. So I think we're getting quite a bit of value here on his over 21.5.
All right, Koerner. So you are on Lamar Jackson under 48.5 rushing yards and Andre Yosevach over 21.5 receiving yards rather. So Nick, let's take a vote. All right, Nick, we've got a choice now. Lamar Jackson under 48.5 rushing yards or Andre Yosevach over 21.5 receiving yards.
Yeah. I just need one more minute. I just need to finish this up. I think I got it ready.
Okay.
I'm going with Yoshi.
Oh, wow. You drew that in 5 seconds?
So I needed an extra minute to finish it up there.
Oh my Lord.
Fun fact. Wow. I almost made this my official prop. I know last night I was, getting my picks in. I had a busy morning. I almost made this exact same one, Sean. So I guess we're great minds think alike. I actually have it up here on my statistical program. I'm looking at a plot of expected catch rate versus actual catch rate this year, and Yoshi's been like the 10th unluckiest. So I was right there with you. And also the Ravens allow the 3rd worst catch rate over expectation on deep passes.
All right. I was going to ask you why you were thinking about Yosevach, and you already went ahead and let us know because obviously you love this prop too. So we are going to be taking Andre Yosevach as the 3rd leg of the same game parlay. So let's take a look at this parlay because it comes out to around plus 750 at Bet365. So with Nick's pick, we have the first half under 26.5. We've got the Joe Burrow over rushing yards at 8.5 or 9.5, basically 10 yards or more, all along with Andre Yosevach over 21.5 receiving yards. That parlay comes out to around plus 750 at Bet365. All right, guys. Well, that's all for us. I want to thank everybody for watching Action Island for Ravens Bengals. On behalf of Nick Giffen, Sean Koerner, and myself, aloha and bo chance.